Amanda from Pontes Books here with our Chapter 9 fun fact from The Prince and the Pauper. So I already hinted at, well, not even really hinted at, I flat out said what this was going to be about in the historical tidbit video for Chapter 9, but that's okay because it's going to be interesting anyway. So the historical tidbit for Chapter 9 was focusing on Tudor fashion, and a part of that is having to do with ermine. So ermine was a part of their style. We'll get into that. But it's also this cute little figure featured in the picture here. So we're going to focus on that for today. So the reference in The Prince and the Pauper, this is actually the same part of the same quote that was used for the historical tidbit, but just a more focused portion, specifically focusing on the ermine. So he, and this means Tom, was magnificently habited in a doublet of white satin with a front piece of purple cloth of tissue powdered with diamonds and edged with ermine. So again, ermine, what we're focusing on for today, it was very common in royal fashion in general, not just for Tudor times, but was definitely still popular in Tudor times as well. So what is ermine? Ermine is an animal. And the scientific nomenclature for this animal is Mustela erminea. Other names for it are stoat, short-tailed weasel, and Bonaparte weasel. And it is often referred to, when they use the term ermine, they're specifically referring to the winter time, where its coat turns pure white, with the exception of a little black tail tip. Otherwise, ermine are typically brown in the summer. So their coat changes with the temperature and with the season to help with camouflage. If ermine live in an area that's not quite as cold, their fur doesn't get that pure white color. Sometimes it's more of an off-white. But they can be found all across North America and Eurasia, and they live mostly in thickets, woodlands, and wooded areas. So it's not necessarily hard to get your hands on ermine fur, but it is a pretty small animal. So obviously a little bit, a full fur would only get so much if you're trying to line something with ermine. So why was it popular with the royals? So because it became associated with royals, or one of the reasons it became associated with royals was because of a symbolic legend stating that an ermine would rather die than be defiled or soiled. So there was actually a phrase, I believe it was in Latin, that was basically the translation of that sentence. That was something that would be stated as kind of a motto to go along with royals. They would never be defiled or soiled. So this fur, they liked the pure white of it with the little black tip, but they also liked this idea that they are pure and that they will never be soiled. They also liked it because the fur is a very fine texture and that pure color of it. And that little black kind of triangular pattern became very synonymous with royals and was something that wasn't really allowed to be imitated by anyone who was not royal. So if you look back at our video, wearing ermine was only something that was allowed for royals. So otherwise, their fur would probably be pure white if they were not royal and they were going with some sort of white animal. And that was something that Edward III started that rule. So if you look back at pictures of royals across many, many years, you'll see, like in this picture, where it's this pure white with just these little triangles almost of black. And there were even just crests and things that represented the royal families that still followed this pattern because they felt so strongly about it. So that's pretty much it. Short one today, just a little information about ermine. Hopefully you learned something and have a good rest of your day.